Good morning, happy Monday. Welcome to a new reading vlog and a new reading week. We are walking into week 3 of the Newt's Magical Readathon. How are you feeling at this point in the game? I'm feeling pretty good. I only have one more required prompt to finish and then one more that I would like to get to. So 2 books total and I have 2 weeks to go. So I'm feeling really good. With that being said, there are some things that I do have to accomplish this week. So reading will kind of trickle in and out a little bit more than it has the past couple weeks when I've just been able to devote entire afternoons to reading. But that's okay. All works out. So I don't have a tea montage. However, I do have a reading update for you. I ended up finishing Shadow of the Lions by Christopher Swan last night. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. I felt it was a very average mystery. There wasn't like a lot of a thriller aspect to it, and I found it to be somewhat predictable, but it wasn't horrible. There wasn't anything inherently bad about it. It's very male heavy with, you know, stupid boy stuff, but I mean, am I glad I read it? I don't know. Mama. We're right back where we started at the beginning of last week, where I don't really know what I want to pick up. If you watched last week's reading vlog, you know that I was reading The Last Magician by Lisa Maxwell, and I got 78 pages in and realized that I just really don't care. I don't care about the characters, I don't care about the story, nothing about this is like wrapped me in, and at 78 pages I feel like I should at least think or feel something, and I don't. So that was for the prompt of reading a book that has a map in it, and just to show you, there is a map in here. Look at that, there is a map. And I'm just really not, Mama. So no. I've had a look through, I've had a look through, a little perusal of my TBR bookcase. We don't even need to get into that. And I picked off a couple of options of books that have maps in them. I have Dorothy Dunnett's The Game of Kings, and I have A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kemmerer. This I am hearing infinitely more about. I believe it is a young adult Beauty and the Beast retelling, which Beauty and the Beast retellings I really like. I'm always down for a good Beauty and the Beast retelling. We'll see. I want to read the original Beauty and the Beast at some point in time. Maybe in the near future. That could be a fun one. So I've got a historical fiction and a fantasy. Both of these have maps in them. I honestly, I have no idea. I've tried to read this before. It's a little bit slow going at the beginning, which kind of worries me. And like I said, I'm just hearing so many things about this, so I might actually pick this one up. The final book that I need to read for the Newt's Magical Readathon is the one that I don't have to read, but I really would like to read. It fulfills an extra prompt. I, you know, want to go over and above what I need to do, and that's Autumn by Ali Smith. So looking forward to reading this one too. I have read her short story collection, which I enjoyed. So there we go. That's my plan right now. Yeah, I've got 2 books left. I think I can do it. Hopefully I can read both books this week and start working on some other things and reading some other things next week. So we shall see. Good evening. It is much later. It is much later than I talked to you guys this morning. We've had quite the adventure today. And I'm obviously getting ready for bed, but I wanted to give you guys a little bit of a reading update because I've kind of surprised myself. I've started A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kemmerer, I started this at one point this afternoon and I'm already 75 pages in, and I think I've only read for like maybe a little over an hour total, so we're doing pretty good on that front. It obviously has me intrigued, however, it's also a young adult, so some tropes are starting to come into play. It's a young adult Beauty and the Beast retelling, so some tropes are starting to come into play that I'm kind of like, But anywho's, that's my update for now. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Good afternoon, happy Tuesday. This whole having you in my tea cabinet really seems to be working out well for us, so we're just gonna keep it up. It is Tuesday afternoon, it's like 2:45, and I need to make a cup of tea. I don't really talk a lot about like my personal life and all that, but it's kind of been a rough month, unexpectedly so. And so today is just one of those rough days, and I really just need some extra tea. So I am gonna make myself up a cup of Grey Afternoon. I normally have like 2 to 3 cups of tea a day as it is. And I just really need the extra comfort right now, even more so. I'm gonna use my Treat Yourself mug because I have a whole long to-do list of things to do this afternoon, and I'm not gonna get to any of it. I'm just gonna, I'm not gonna get into all the specifics or all the details or anything like that because y'all don't need to know that, but basically I'm just gonna spend this afternoon reading, because I'm not in the right mindset to like try and accomplish all of my to-do list. So, and I will just reallocate the rest of this week to kind of fix what today is gonna be. So I am currently reading A Curse So Dark and Lonely. You all know this. I last night made it to page 105. I'd like to get to page 200 if I can this afternoon. I think it should be super easy. I saw 100. I can totally read 100 pages this afternoon. It's raining and gray and cool today, so it's kind of like the perfect weather for spending my afternoon reading, which I think is like part of what's playing into my desire to just want to read. And yeah, I have mixed feelings about A Curse So Dark and Lonely, and I have mixed feelings about having mixed feelings. We're all sorts of mixed up here. I really like the premise. I like that we have a really strong main female character that's very indicative of Beauty and the Beast. It very much follows the tale of Beauty and the Beast. We haven't really gotten anything that isn't Beauty and the Beast-esque yet. However, my only thing that I don't care for is that I feel like the whole romance, this is an almost 500-page book, I think. It's like in the 400s somewhere. And I'm on page 100 and we're already getting like hints of the romance, and I feel like it's a little bit early on. Like I feel like all I really heard about this story was like how like great and unique it was, and we had some things that were different from other retellings, and I was really looking forward to that. And I feel like we're already on page 100 and we're starting to get some of the like romance, which is in line with Beauty and the Beast, so I don't know why I'm like complaining, but I just feel like it's a little early for us to be like going in that. And if we're going so hard on her being such a strong character and strong-willed and independent and a fierce fighter, like all of these things are being put to us, I want her to hold on to that. I don't want her this early on to have that internal struggle already. Like I'd like for her to fight it a little bit more, but that's kind of where I'm at right now. Still really liking it. Like I do really enjoy it. Obviously something's got me interested. I read for a couple hours yesterday and made it to page 105, so something's got me going. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. I'm feeling better this morning, so that's good. My battery light is blinking, so we're off to a great start. I figured I would just come on here real fast. I'm making my tea. We've got to go to playgroup, so I don't have a super high amount of time, but I figured I would come on here real quick, give you guys a little reading update. Reading A Curse So Dark and Lonely, as I've said. Last night, I made it to page 178. Good afternoon. Fair game. I have no idea where the camera stopped recording earlier. My camera battery died. Quite actually, surprisingly, I wasn't expecting it to die as quickly as it did, but it did. So, it is now dinner time. And I have since done a little bit of reading, and I've done a whole lot, not a whole lot, but a decent amount of writing and scheduling and kind of like getting my life back together. I spent 2 or 3 days just sitting on the couch reading, like, so I needed to do something. I had to get some stuff done, and I did that this afternoon, so I'm very pleased with that. I think I'm around page 230 of A Curse So Dark and Lonely, which is out in my living room, and I'm hiding while dinner's cooking. So, I'm still really enjoying it. I feel like I really like, but don't like, the internal monologue of our female protagonist. I really like that we're getting a good look at her internal battle. I love the internal monologue. I feel like that's not something we really see a lot of, like a well thought out internal monologue, I should say. Not like the, oh, but he's so handsome and so cute, but oh, I want to be back home. Like, that's not what we're getting. And I really like that. And I can see how that is different in terms of Beauty and the Beast retellings that we've seen. But I also, like, in some ways it really aggravates me because I'm like, come on. So I'm kind of like, I still have mixed feelings, and I have mixed feelings about my mixed feelings. So I'm all up in my feelings about this book. So yeah, that's all I've got to share. Good afternoon. Happy Thursday. It is Thursday afternoon, and we have had a really good day today. I've gotten a lot accomplished. The boys have been having a blast, and I did a lot of reading last night, so there we go. I just wanted to note that you can tell that this novel is really good and like clicking with me by the fact that I was worried about reading 70 pages yesterday, and I did that in one sitting last night at bedtime. Alright, so I made it to page 299 last night, which means I completed my goal to get to page 300. We're just going to call it there. It is currently 5 till 6. I'm going to make a completely unreasonable goal to read to page 397 today. Now, albeit I am just starting, so my goal is to read 100 pages today. I don't know if I will end up reading 100 pages today, but that's my intention. We'll see. Hello. Good evening. It's later. It is a few hours later. The lighting in here is all sorts of kookumamas. Because it's 10:15 at night. Reading update for you. Bit of a change of plans. I read about 25 pages of A Curse So Dark and Lonely when I started panicking when I remembered, so my library, if you request an ebook through them, and hold on, let me tell you the story and then I'll get to the rest of it. So if you request an ebook through my library, when it becomes available, it automatically checks it out for you, like without you even having to do anything. All you have to do is go on to Overdrive and download it to your reading device. And I had requested many months ago now, I had requested that my library purchase a copy of The Test by Sylvain Neuvel because I loved his Themis Files, I think that's how you say it, trilogy. And I wanted to read more by him, and I had heard good things about this one that he came out with. I think it came out this year or last year, I can't remember. So anyway, I requested my library to do it, and when they actually purchased a copy and it came my turn, it just automatically downloaded. And then I remembered it tonight that they like already did it, thankfully. And I logged on to my Overdrive account and I realized I had 2 days to read it. So that was good. I didn't know how long it was gonna be. I didn't know anything about it. I mean, I knew it was like a shorter story, but I didn't know how short or how long. So I downloaded it and I read it in an hour, in one sitting. And I have no idea what I think about it. It was the most engrossing, thrilling, thought-provoking story I've ever read. I still don't know quite how many pages it is. Let me see if I can look that up. Because the way the electronic version of it is, it doesn't give me like the exact pages, and I read it on my phone, not my actual Kindle, so I have no idea. I rated it 5 stars. Let me get that out of the way. I've rated it 5 stars. 112 pages. Literally the wildest 112 pages I think I've read this year. What? So how do I even accurately summarize this? We follow God, we follow a man as he is trying to become a citizen, and he's taking his citizenship test, and some things happen, and not everything is as it seems, and I promise you, this is not Mia's so tired that she can't put a sentence together. This is literally how this book has made me feel. Yeah, 5 stars. I loved it. What a ride. Read it. Just read it. It's crazy. But anyway, I'm gonna come back down from that. Like I said, it's now 10:20 and I am getting ready for bed. I think I'm gonna try and read like another 20-25 pages if I can of A Curse So Dark and Lonely. Obviously this was not intended, but it's okay. Like, whatever. And I'm gonna try and read just a little bit more of it before I go to bed. Good afternoon. Happy Friday. It is 6 something, I don't know, in the afternoon, evening time, whatever. And I figured I've finished everything that I need to do for today, for this weekend. It's all like done until Sunday afternoon when I do my scheduling and stuff. So figured I would come on here, do a reading update. Dinner is in the oven baking, and I'm gonna get quite a bit of reading done in A Curse So Dark and Lonely. I'm currently on page 362. I've got about a little over 100 pages left. So I think I can finish it tonight, tomorrow. Who knows? I would like to finish it tonight, but I don't know if I'll be able to. Just logistically wise. And then tomorrow morning, I think we're gonna do a play date with our neighbors. So I won't be reading again until tomorrow afternoon, which isn't like the end of the world. I am now really loving it. I had mixed feelings, and if you recall, and then I had mixed feelings about those mixed feelings, and then I read this line. I am always surprised to discover that when the world seems darkest, there exists the greatest opportunity for light. And I was like, that does it. That cements my no more mixed feelings is right there with that line. That was just literally, and I read it at a time that I really needed to hear that. And so I'm really enjoying it. I like that our main character feels very real and very raw and not just like your typical bit. I like that the romance is there but not there. Like, we're following our main character as she really, it's not like romance focused, if that makes sense. Like, our main character is when she's got the conflict in her head, the Beauty and the Beast conflict. It's not so much that she is trying to like do the whole love thing. She feels guilt for people. She feels the weight of what she's doing. You find that she's very much aware. She's very self-aware. I'm just really loving it. It feels, there's something about it that feels so real to me in terms of a retelling, and it doesn't feel like just another you know, Beauty and the Beast, she gets taken, she falls in love, whatever. Like, it feels very something about it doesn't feel like your typical Beauty and the Beast retelling, if that makes sense. It's very much Beauty and the Beast retelling, like, it's very much there. So yeah, as a side note, to follow up for my like 10 o'clock last night update, I'm still thinking about the test. It's still like boggling my mind. So yeah, there's that, still there. That was a humdinger. Like, I just don't even know. Good morning, happy Saturday. It is early in the morning. I'm making tea and breakfast and all of the things, and I figured I would update you guys before our day kind of kicks off. Because this is like the only time I'm gonna be able to update you guys until like early afternoon, evening time. And you know, I just wanted to talk. I last night finished A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kemmerer, and holy bejesus, it kept me up. Like, it kept me reading. I think I said something when I updated yesterday about wanting to try and finish it, but not thinking that I'd be able to finish it. And it kept me going last night. Like, I was not prepared for that. To like, yeah, I was just not prepared for the like boom 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 boom, go 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 go. Is she gonna love him? Does she love him? Blah, 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 blah. I'm getting tongue tied. Even overall a 4.5 out of 5 stars. I like, and like on the lower of the 4.5 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. I definitely will be reading the next book. I'm very much into the world. Everything felt very real to me, which I really loved. I talked about a lot of it yesterday, so I'm not going to repeat myself. But there was still something about it that I couldn't give it the full 5 stars, which sounds absolutely insane. I recognize that. But there was just something there that I couldn't give it a full 5 stars. So I marked it as 4 on Goodreads, and I'm hovering like a 4.5 stars. I really loved it though. It was a really good read. As far as Beauty and the Beast retellings go, I loved the take that she did on it. I love that we really see our main characters struggle with things. It's not just told to us. Like, we see it in their heads, and we see that they're, you know, really trying to come to terms with what's going on. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. There was just something that stopped me from giving it a 5 star, and I typically try to go with my gut when that happens. If my gut is saying this isn't quite a 5-star, it's like more like a 4, 4.5, I try to go with that. So there we go. My next book and my final book for the Newts Readathon is Autumn by Ali Smith. I don't actually have it down here. I have to go get it from upstairs. Looking forward to reading that. I don't really know much about it. I think it's just literary fiction. Yeah, don't really know too much on that front. Should be interesting. But I did hear a lot about it, and I think she makes a lot of comments on the political state of the United Kingdom at the time that she's writing. It's going to be a quartet. So autumn, winter, and spring are out. I think summer either just came out or is coming out next year. I don't remember, to be completely honest. So yeah, looking forward to reading to it. They're not like I don't think they're a series like that you have to read in order, but I'm just going to because I'm ridiculous. Happy Saturday afternoon. It is 6:20 on Saturday afternoon, so much later than when I updated you guys this morning. We have had a jam-packed, fun-filled day. We started off with play date. Pretty much everything that I told you this morning happened. We had a play date this morning, and then this afternoon I actually turned on Harry Potter so my older son would at least lay down for a little bit. He doesn't take naps anymore, but there are times when he just needs like a little quiet and downtime, and it's the weekend, so I'm not as worried about turning the TV on as much as I am during the week. So we just turned on a movie and he lay down for a little bit, and I started Autumn by Ali Smith, and my younger son napped. So, you know, I am on page 89 89 of this novel, and I don't really have a lot to say about it right now. I'm enjoying it. Ali Smith has a certain writing style that I don't think connects with everybody, and honestly it doesn't always connect with me either. There are parts of this book that I absolutely love so far, and I understand and connect with, and it's beautifully written, and then there are other parts that I'm just like, what? And I think that that is okay. We don't need to understand every part of every single book, and that's been, I mean, there are going to be times that you just don't understand and you don't necessarily get a book, but it doesn't affect your enjoyment of the book, if that makes sense. I'm still enjoying the reading experience of reading this book. There is, I was right, there is some political and world event discussion in it, and it takes place in the UK, so you kind of need to like have a basic understanding of what is going on. But yeah, so like I said, I'm currently on page 89. My original goal today was to get to like 100 pages. I'd like to try and get to like the 125, 150 range if I can. If I can't, it's no big deal. There's only 270 pages in this book. I don't think it's gonna take me very long to read. Like, I think I'll probably finish it like Monday-ish time frame, which is exciting because then I'll be finished with my Newts like a week early, which the same thing happened with my OWLs. I don't know why I was like, I'm never gonna be able to finish 9-10 books in a month, because I can. Anyway, that's beside the point. You can too. But yeah, that's my goal. We'll see if it happens. Good morning, happy Sunday. I've lost my train of thought 3 times already trying to record one clip. This is a great start to my day. I don't know what page I was on when I updated you guys last about Autumn by Ali Smith. I'm currently on page 125. Goodreads tells me I'm almost halfway through the book. And to be completely honest, the blurbs on the back of the book actually pretty much sum up my thoughts. It's very, I couldn't find the word to really describe it. It's very melancholic, strange at times. Ali Smith has this way of weaving these really strange allusions into her stories. I noticed it with the short stories, which are really beautiful, but they're also just really weird. So it's like one of those things where it's like, wow, this is like really beautiful if you think about it, but at the same time when you're like in and reading it, it's just very weird, and it's kind of like, where's this going within the story? We're following two characters and we're kind of jumping around in the timeline. So we follow two characters as they navigate life and death. And there is a lot of commentary on the politics of the time. So this was written during the height of the first go round of Brexit. So when they were voting on whether they wanted to leave the European Union and all of that, we get, I think my favorite bits are the little commentaries about she's trying to renew and so dealing with the government and everything. That commentary is just so perfect to me. And there's a lot of little side kind of tangents within the story about the political climate and what's going on in the time period that the story is in. So I'm enjoying it. I find that Ali Smith is one of those authors that when I read her books, I just need to read them and not try and analyze them and not try and get into the deeper portion of it, because there are portions that I don't understand, that I don't get. I'm sure that there is a lot behind the scenes that I just am like over my head, and that's okay. It's cool. And just read as she gives me the text, basically. So that's my update. I am actually going to end this reading vlog here because I don't really know when I'm gonna get a chance to read today. I do have some things to get done this morning. I want to take the kids outside because it's supposed to be sunny and hot again, and at some point I do need to edit this reading vlog, so I'm just gonna go ahead and wrap it up now. Next week, I haven't had a chance to talk to you to talk in a video about this. I've done a blog post which I'll link down below, but basically the reading vlogs are being put on hold. I would really suggest reading the blog post. It outlines my thoughts on all of it really well. This week will be the last week that I'll actually have video content, and then we'll just be going back to blog posts and such. I just really have a lot on my plate right now and a lot going on, and I needed to take something away, and this was the something that I take away, basically. But read the blog post because it has a whole lot more in depth, and talk about books that I've loved recently and books that I'm looking forward to reading. So, you know, we're more than just chatting on that. So yeah, that is all I've got for you guys this week. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you next week. Bye. Yes, I know. I just concluded the reading vlog. It's like, I don't know, a couple hours after I've concluded the reading vlog. But it just clicked in my head. Autumn by Ali Smith, the whole book, everything, that it just clicked in my head. I'm somewhere in like the 160s, 170s, and there was a point in the book where she's talking about guns and trees, and it seems like it makes no sense, but something clicked in my head and the entire book makes sense. So there we go. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys next week.